Hey guys, Kakarot197 again. This time a review of the 144th scale high-grade fighting action Serpent Custom from the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz movie. With the release of the real Great Talkies coming up, I suddenly felt the urge to build one of the old Gundam Wing model kits again. And man, did this thing turn into a trip down nostalgia lane. It's got seam lines all over the thing. Right down the middle, right down the middle, right down the middle, right down the middle, right down the middle. Then when we get to the stickers, we get metallic red for these vents. On the back, the same thing. We get a nice metallic green one for his visor, and then we get white ones that wrap around the arms. These ones aren't actually too bad, but then of course we still have a lot of parts left that we're gonna have to paint. The top of the feet, this here has to be painted in that same, like not really white, it's like cream colored, so yeah, that has to be painted. Like the little things on there have to be painted, and the weapons need even more paint. So let's see how the articulation's like. Head goes a little bit up, a little bit down, and it's actually on a peg and not on a ball joint. And the arms rotate around all the way, go up about that far, rotate around above the elbow, bend at the elbow on one joint, but hey, not too bad for that single joint. Then the hands are on ball joints, will wiggle around, turn around, and do everything a ball joint does. Now normally these are supposed to open up to reveal like a bunch of micro missiles. Fortunately, they do not. And we'll rotate around all the way on there. On the back we have some thrusters that are on pegs, so they will go nicely up and down and a little bit in and out. Then the big really good thing about this model kit is the legs go really far forwards, really far backwards, but unfortunately they really don't turn around, which means that every action pose you try to make with this thing is going to end up looking pretty damn static. Go out a little bit as well. And then the knees bend on two joints, and just look at that. That is some really good bending. And the feet are technically on a double joint. We've got a ball joint, and then that ball joint is also in a hinge joint. But forwards a little bit, backwards a little bit, side to side somewhat, and we'll rotate around a little bit. So overall, for a Gundam Wing model kit from the 90s, the articulation isn't too bad. It's just a shame that it's really hindered by the lack of rotation on the legs. But then again, I can't really argue with a model kit that can kneel like that. On to the accessories, and let's start off with the beam cannon, which has to be painted gray. And for our beam cannon, we also get the included trigger finger hand. And thanks to the included pair of open palm hands, he can also support it. Like I said, the action poses end up looking relatively static. And if you want some more firepower, we also have the double Gatling Gun. Now this thing goes into, well, this you can mount on both arms, but you only have one trigger that goes on it. So if you mount it on the right side, the trigger is the right way around, but if you want to mount it on the left arm, you actually gotta put the trigger the wrong way around. And there we go. Now he's ready to defend my capital from those pesky Gundams. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, at 800 yen, it definitely isn't the most expensive thing ever, and as far as Gundam Wing model kits go, you could do a lot worse. Unfortunately, that's not really saying a lot about how good this thing is, as it is saying a lot about how bad the other Gundam Wing model kits were. So yeah, by today's standards, this thing is absolutely antiquated. So really the only reason to pick this thing up is if you really like the Serpent Custom and you also want it in 1/144 scale, because the big kicker that might want to make you reconsider buying this model kit is that there's also a 1/100 scale, which is significantly better. And that one also comes with two double Gatling guns as opposed to the single one that this model kit comes with. And, well, so much for that fantastic arm joint. Thank you for proving my point about how you're not the greatest model kit. Anyways, the 1/100 scale also comes with an extra bazooka, And while it might not be fair to compare a 144 scale to a 1/100 scale kit, in this case, yeah, I'm definitely going to recommend you to go with the 1/100 scale if you just want a Serpent custom. Then for size comparisons, here he is next to the Face Shift Down Dual and the Jagan from the General Revel. And that's all for this review, and I'll see you all next time.